So from the minute that you spend money on the ad, now we need to track the number of people that actually see that ad. That is your ad's impressions.
I can see the whole wide world with these two eyes, and I can be whoever I wanna be, 'cause it's my life.
Hi, thanks for joining us again on another episode of Ask Squirrel CPA. Today we're talking about key performance indicators, and specifically we're talking about online ad impressions. I have Tyson here with me again.
Hello.
Tyson, thanks for joining us. So, how's the tax schedule treating you?
Pretty good. I got over half my returns done, so I'm feeling pretty positive about it.
So you're knocking them out right on. It's okay. So the quote that we have here today is Jim Collins' quote, author of 6 business books, and it really keys in on this issue that we're dealing with here lately in our videos. Is the good to great companies did not focus principally on what to do. They focus equally on what not to do and what to stop doing entirely. Jim Collins wrote the book on what companies outperform the market compared to their competitors, and they focus on not just what to do but what to stop doing. And we're talking about business owners who are trying to increase their revenue. And Industry Canada tells us that 50% of all Canadian small businesses will go out of business in 5 years, and 42% of those failed business owners will cite inability to attract enough customers as one of the reasons for failure, making it the most common reason that business owners cite for failing at business. Now, the story that we have here is the business owners come in and they've identified a revenue problem in their financial statements. We've given them accurate financial statements. They know it's a revenue problem, and they know they have to track and achieve measurable key performance indicators in order to fix this problem. They can't just grasp at straws here. And they've adopted that their number one KPI is to get 40 Google reviews and continue to get 1 Google review per month thereafter. They know that they're going to do 10 initial YouTube videos, and they're going to do one more additional YouTube video per week thereafter, and they're going to get all those YouTube videos transcribed and put on their website so they rank on Google. And then they've established that we're going to spend some money on advertising. They got an ad spend worked out, and now they think they can jump straight to leads when there's a few more things that they need to count in order to see if their advertising initiatives are going to be efficient or not. So Tyson, what are the questions that these business owners should be asking?
First would be, will measuring leads alone give you enough info to dissect an ineffective ad?
Measuring enough leads alone will not give you enough info. There could be a number of things going wrong with the ad or somewhere else in the chain, and you won't know what they are unless you're tracking other initiatives. So, just measuring leads alone is not enough. We can't go from dollars spent on advertising to leads, because there's a lot of things that can go wrong in between spending the money and collecting the lead that we need to track and be able to dissect.
Okay. Will measuring leads and clicks give you enough info to dissect ad quality?
Leads and just clicks will not be able to dissect ad quality. They're also, we're half of the way there. So we spent money on ads, and if we just start tracking clicks, we're going to get a little more data. But there's some things that can happen over here before the ad spend, before the click even occurs, that are important.
Okay. What are ad impressions?
So ad impressions are what's over here. So from the minute that you spend money on the ad, now we need to track the number of people that actually see that ad. That is your ad's impressions. So, before we get to the leads, we have spend money on ads. We have tracking money on the number of impressions. We have tracking the number of people that actually see that ad. Now we can track the number of people that actually click on that ad. And now on the end, we can measure how many leads are resulting. We need to get the number of ad impressions.
Okay. If you have no ad impressions, is it possible your ad was rejected?
Yeah, so sometimes you could have even what would be an effective ad and just got rejected, especially if you're putting it on Google or AdRoll. You know, you can have, for example, a great ad, but it had too many capital letters in it, for example, and Google has very specific parameters, and they don't tell you right away. So you submit your ad for approval, and a lot of business owners think, I'm done, I submitted my ad for approval, it's got to be good. You got to make sure that it's actually accepted. You might have a great ad and a great strategy all worked out, and you just had one too many capital letters in that thing, and Google kicked it out on you. You want to make sure your ad is actually live. That's step one. It sounds simple. It's like, is it plugged in type of solution, but it happens more often than you would think.
If your keywords are too narrow, what will happen to your ad impressions?
Yeah, so if your keywords are super narrow, you know, if you're looking at, plumbers, the keyword is plumbers doing leaks in basements for rental properties. It just gets too long. Not enough people are actually going to see it rather than Edmonton plumbers. There's a lot of people who are going to see that thing. So you want to make it, narrow enough that it hits your focus, but you can't make it too narrow that not enough people see it. We need this ad to get in front of enough people in order to have a hope of getting another customer or two. You need to get this ad in front of thousands of people. We're talking thousands of impressions we need to make in order to have it. If we have hundreds, unless we're selling something really high ticket or something like that, this isn't necessarily going to work. So we need to get get those impressions up.
Yeah. How can you determine what keywords to target?
So the way to determine what keywords to target, you can actually look at the Google Ads analytics, because they track how many people in your local market are actually searching different keywords. And so I view that as probably one of the most reliable sources. You can use third-party software too, like SEO Moz, SEMrush has analytics too, but you just go straight to the source, just go straight to Google, and Google will tell you how many people are actually searching those particular keywords a month. So you'll know, hey, am I trying to get someone to click on an ad? Am I trying to get someone to see an ad, but nobody actually searches this term? Or if I'm going to put this keyword term, and there's a lot of people searching this term each and every month, and it's going to get in front of some people.
Okay. Do customers always search keywords that professionals would search?
Yeah, so sometimes what your customer would search is different than what you as the professional or the expert would call it. One of the examples I throw out there is, we looked at these numbers for some family lawyers, and one of the terms that gets searched is marital law. A lawyer in Alberta at least would never use that term. It's maybe it's an American term that's sophisticated, but in Canada that doesn't get used. It's kind of a incorrect term, if you will. But it doesn't matter, because it only matters what your customer is searching. You don't have to worry about what it's properly called in your keywords, because no one knows what keywords you're targeting. Your keywords are what ads, if someone types something into the computer, do you want this person to see your ad or not? So a lot of times it's not something that you as a professional would use. Someone gave me the tip one time is if you want to know what your customer would search, you get those those books that come out. It's such and such for dummies, plumbing for dummies, electrical for dummies. If you can get those sort of books and then look in the index for the topics that they're covering, and you might get a bunch of different keywords that maybe you as a professional wouldn't call it, but guess what? Your customer's thinking about it, and you run it against the Google Analytics, and Google is going to tell you that yes, in fact, people are searching for this term, and sometimes those are the best terms because your competitors aren't thinking of those either. So.
Yeah. And if your demographic is too narrow, what will happen to your ad impressions?
Yeah, same thing if your keyword is, really specific. If your demographic is too narrow, you're not going to get enough impressions, right? So the goal isn't to get the most impressions, but the goal is you want to find that sweet spot where we're getting it, relevant keywords in front of your ideal and likely buyers. But if we make that demographic too narrow, people living in just one neighborhood with income over $100,000, there's 1,000 people in that neighborhood, and we probably need thousands of impressions for it even to to be worthwhile. So the demographic being too narrow can be a problem as well. We're not getting enough impressions. We're not getting enough at bats to even have a chance of getting a click onto the website.
If you didn't bid enough for your ads, what will happen?
Yeah, if you don't bid enough for the ad, it won't get out there either. So the way these ads work is there's a bid price. Whoever bids the most, Google will sell them the most space. And you can use the optimizer. Google will tell you recommended bid, which is useful in a lot of businesses. But if you just simply want to say, I want to pay 5 cents for a keyword term, and chances are if this is a common keyword term, if you're looking for Edmonton plumber or Calgary electrician or something like that, that's not 5 cents isn't going to get you there. Someone's going to outbid you, and you're going to feel good about this ad. You're going to think you're getting a good deal, but you're never going to get. Google's never going to run that ad because they're always going to sell it. They're going to sell that real estate to someone else who's willing to pay a higher price.
Okay. Is it a good idea to hire a professional to assist with this?
I think this is a good point where if you're struggling at all, you're not even struggling. It's probably is a situation where you don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
So even if you think it's working, it's likely a good idea. If you're a business owner and you want to be at your top of your game about this, even if you know what you're doing, you probably should be hiring someone for a review of this, if nothing else. And likely you need to hire someone on an ongoing basis if you want to have a top level marketing campaign and continually deliver that, because you have time to be the expert in your business and continue being the expert in your business. But trying to be the expert in every field is a recipe for failure. So I think it's one of those things where hiring a professional helps. In this day and age, you probably need you probably need an accountant. You likely need a lawyer. You likely once your business hits some scale, or you want to get it to some scale, you probably need some help on the marketing as well too. So that's what we have here today. Thanks so much for tuning in. As always, please hit the like and subscribe button so we can continue to deliver you tips on how to beat the odds at business. And please leave us some comments below so we can deliver you some relevant content in our future videos. Thanks very much.